Hey everybody, it's Michael Troy, and today we are going to look at Marvel Fanfare. Alright guys, so before we begin, let's hit like and subscribe to my channel, please, so you don't forget at the end or when you get bored and fall out halfway through the video. So, if you were alive in the 80s, or if you were a comic book reader in the 80s, or if you're just into nostalgia and that kind of thing, there was a book called Marvel Fanfare, and it is a great book of compilation, different Marvel characters and stories and creators. And I'm assuming their, you know, mission in the beginning was to have like, high-end creators and, I guess either epic stories or stories that might not necessarily fit within the confines of a monthly title. It was done on, better paper, and because at the time, I believe regular standard comics were on newsprint still, so this had like a glossier stock and better production values. It looks like this is the trade paperback. This is collection, I think, issue 1 through 6, but I guess we'll find out when we get there. But this is Michael Golden kicked off the series with his art, and a story with the Savage Land, and it is written by Chris Claremont, the great Chris Claremont of X-Men fame, who is celebrating his 50th year. Congratulations, Chris Claremont, 50 years in comic books. And there's a great 50-year anniversary X-Men special coming out this week, so you guys should check that out because Chris is awesome and the best writer in comics history, arguably, or at least one of the most prolific and most productive, and the most important contributors as far as the X-Men canon is concerned. So this is like an X-Men, Spider-Man, X-Men, Savage Land story. We've got beautiful art by Michael Golden. He's doing pencils, inks, colors, and that was another thing with Marvel Fanfare is, I think it gave creators room to sort of breathe within the confines of the stories. Outside of a monthly book, you can get your story together, and then they would publish it as it was ready. They had backstories and, pinups and unused covers. So Marvel Fanfare, I guess it's just a great showcase for all different aspects of Marvel. This is the backup, like Daredevil Santa Claus story, illustrated by the amazing Paul Smith, and inked by Terry Austin. It's funny looking at this. You see how much Terry Austin is coming through because he's an artist in his own right. And it is fun to see this. I love Paul Smith, and Terry Austin makes anyone look good. Speaking of making anyone look good, although John Byrne doesn't need anyone to make him look good. But here's a unused something of the Spider-Man and Silver Surfer. So that's a great shot right there. Great double page spread. Great action. I mean, I don't know if they still do this. Do current artists these days draw all these buildings and stuff? Byrne and Austin, Team Supreme. So this is issue 2. I mean, look at all this is Michael Golden. Look at all the detail in that cover. I loved in Marvel Fanfare, this looks like Frank Miller, possibly inked by Terry Austin. So, I mean, it explains all here if I would just not be lazy and take a look, but we're mostly in it just for the little look through here. So, great dinosaur. It seems like the common thread among a lot of my favorite comic artists is they love to draw dinosaurs. John Byrne, Art Adams, Michael Golden, and they all draw them well. A lot of fun savagery going on here in the Savage Land. Here's another backup story. This one is penciled by Trevor Von Eden, who I think mostly worked for DC. I remember seeing his stuff on some Batman and the Outsiders or something like that. Inked by Armando Gil, who's a frequent collaborator with Michael Golden. So this is just a fun little FF backup story, possibly an inventory story or something like that. Trevor Von Eden pin up there. That's very cool. This is issue 3 of Marvel Fanfare. So I don't know how, if this started out as Chris Claremont censured or how they did it, but Michael Golden is not the artist of this issue. We're moving on to Dave Cockrum, who co-created the new X-Men with Len Wein and had a fantastic run on the X-Men alongside Chris Claremont. This is inked by Bob McLeod, who co-created the New Mutants with Chris Claremont, and he is he's an artist, penciler himself, so he has a definitely distinct style. He's one of those inkers you can kind of pick out. I love seeing it on this this good paper because you can really see all the detail, and it looks like they put their put their all into it, if you will. Great face of Storm there. Of course, you know, I'm partial to John Byrne's X-Men, but I'm sure Dave Cockrum heard a lot of that throughout the years. Poor guy. Really the X-Men should have been his glory, but it was a bi-monthly book when he was on it, and he's a little more meticulous, I guess. John just has the gift of speed, so John Byrne was given the monthly title. And but you can definitely see, I mean, Dave Cockrum is an incomparable talent, great costume designer, excellent storyteller, fantastic draftsman. Here's another backup story. Hawkeye and what's that guy's name? I don't want to slaughter it, but it is something crazy. Where is it? They need to say it big on the page. Okay, this is like the whole reason for having this trade paperback to begin with. This is the 4th issue, and I think this is the final part of the Savage Land story, but this is once again Chris Claremont writing and the amazing Paul Smith on inks. You know, it's fun, or I mean on pencils, forgive me. He did ink the cover, but then Terry Austin, the master, is inking the interior pencils. And what a great shot of Angel. I love Warren Worthington with Ka-zag casually holding a dead reptile over his shoulder with Zabu there in the background, his faithful sidekick. Little Sauron action. I think that my favorite run after John Byrne on the X-Men has to be Paul Smith. He worked on the title from Uncanny 164 through 175 when he passed the torch to John Romita Jr. And I was really sad to see him go. I think he went on to do Dr. Strange, like one of his favorites. But luckily we have like this, and then we had like the X-Men and Alpha Flight crossover by Claremont and Paul Smith that I really enjoyed. And I always love this picture of Storm. I love this get-up. She looks very much like Leia in the slave garb of Return of the Jedi. I don't know if this was before or after that. It really doesn't matter, but she looks super cool. I like her hair with the high pony a la Ariana Grande. I wonder if that's where Ariana got the idea. I highly doubt it. Great. Just so many great pictures of Storm in here. I really love this book. I wish that they would bring back Marvel Fanfare and do it right like this. I feel like they brought it back once before and it was okay, but just if you're gonna attention future editors. So now we have a backup story of Deathlock with by Michael Golden. So these artists are just kind of all over the place. Yeah, that was the finale of that story. And some great art by Michael Golden. But this was a fantastic free-for-all, if you will. Like I said, inventory stories, you know, pinups, unused covers, things like that. So just top-tier talent. It's Marvel's Fanfare number 5. This is where Marshall Rogers and Craig Russell, I mean, that's a pretty amazing creative team right there. I love Dr. Strange's robe. I've never seen anything like that before. That's fantastic. They need to sell that on wherever they sell Marvel products. I love Dr. Strange's house. You know it's only there if you know it's there. His sanctum sanctorum. I always liked Dr. Strange for some strange reason. He always sang to me. He's always had fantastic artists too. Michael Golden, Paul Smith. So I just throw out two, but hey, do you need more than that? So here's another backup story. Luke Mcdonald. I want to say I know him from the Detroit Justice League, which is so cool, and I wish they would do, like, isn't DC having a free-for-all now? They should just do, like, different books from whatever era was popular and fun, and just go back to that. I mean, who doesn't want a Justice League International with the funny GLI? And the funny Maxwell Lord, not the whatever we have now. Good Lord. Here we go with P. Craig Russell cover. He's an amazing artist. What he can do with inks is just... Then we have the interior written by Mike W. Barr, who created Batman and the Outsiders, one of my favorite books from the 80s. And who's the artist? I mean, the art isn't bad, but I don't really know the artist, Sandy Plunkett. I mean, the name isn't unfamiliar, but I don't know if they didn't work a lot or if I just didn't follow their stuff. School me in the note or in the comments if you are a Sandy Plunkett fan. And if you're not, you are now. Look how nice this art is. I really like this. But P. Craig Russell is a great finisher. He's one of those inkers that you get when you want a specific look and feel for your project. And then we go, so you, like I said, like a fantastic artist. I mean, written by Roger Stern, the legendary comic writer Roger Stern, and art by Charles Vess. Fantastic artist. I mean, the art, obviously, the book started out much better with the more exciting X-Men and, you know, Michael Golden and Paul Smith. But hey, it's a great pinup of Dr. Strange, Charles Vess. You know, maybe that was their downfall. Dr. Strange wasn't, you know, always getting canceled. I don't know if he just wasn't popular enough to carry his own book or not, but let's not put Marvel fanfare on his shoulders. Joe Barney, penciler, and George Freeman on inks, written by Stephen Grant. This is a little Hulk backup story, and I'm really enjoying the fun aesthetic of this. I like Hulk when he's kind of cranky, but stupid, but lovable at the same time. But I'll take any Hulk. I like Smart Hulk. I like Savage Hulk. I like She-Hulk. And he's fighting the Blob. Now that seems appropriate. I mean, they have matching outfits. They're both big. They can handle each other. Is it Eunice? Anus? I don't know what his power is, but it looks exciting. So anyway, we're coming to the end of this fairly quickly. But this was a fun little romp through Marvel fanfare of the 80s. Just a fun anthology book that brought together different characters and creators of the Marvel Universe. And it did have a good lengthy run. I don't know if there's any more trades. I'll have to investigate that for you. But hey, lots of great fun stories, mostly like just throwaways, you know, not earth-shaking continuity or whatever. But here we go. This is Strange Tales, Marvel Fanfare. Like I said, please hit like and subscribe to my channel, and thanks so much, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.